All right, what you're looking at here is what I call a servo box. It's an element of our small 1.25" diameter watertight cylinder. You see one here. This is a rather long one for a 1/72nd type 23, type 23. Now you see its servo box is rather long. It's got 3 traditional micro servos in it, whereas these smaller units take the what's called a microbe servo. You'll see them in those indoor flyer RC airplanes. And what makes them unique is that the output is linear, and the entire servo unit is rather small, but very difficult to mount longitudinally, which would be the ideal position for the pushrod output, which has to be along the submarine's longitudinal axis. Well, that compelled me, that problem, since I had to mount those servos athwartships, that is to say their linear output was 90 degrees to the desired longitudinal axis. So I had to manufacture and install these little bell cranks to translate that longitudinal motion into axial or longitudinal motion. So to demonstrate that, I have this servo setter here, and I'll turn it on, and you can see the assigned bell crank make its motions. We'll put it in auto here. There we go. Now you see that thing translating. It's magnetically coupled. That is to say, those 2 magnets at each leg, or each arm rather, of the bell crank is a magnet. And one of those magnets right now is being shuttled back and forth by the servo, which has a corresponding magnet on the inside. So there's no watertight seals here. There's no room in a small cylinder like this for such a cumbersome piece of hardware. So I use this magnetic coupling instead of a watertight seal. And now you can see the function of the bell crank is to translate that athwartships motion into a longitudinal motion. And there's plenty of force here. I'm pinching it between thumb and forefinger. And boy, it takes a lot to break that magnetic couple. More force than would be exerted by the control surfaces through their push rods. So that's the function. And I'll go ahead and turn this off, get it out of the road. And if I can, give you a better look at a larger cylinder, this one here. And they're typically comprise a motor bulkhead with a 150 size motor inside. And then you got the receiver, you've got the speed controller, a fail-safe unit. Then you have its longer servo box, and you'll see it's longer than the one that I was just showing you. So I can take the old style micro servos, emission switch, an on-off switch right here, a ballast tank, and a ballast tank pump up here, and battery, and angle keeper. And a lot of this gear has been reduced further since I manufactured this cylinder. So this is a rather large watertight cylinder in my shop than what I'd be making now, because of the advent of the small microbes and even smaller devices to operate the RC submarine. Well, there you have it. Now I might be able to show you to advantage the inside of a outfitted cylinder. So let's try that. The top is a piece of very thin GRP or G11 plastic. Yeah, there you go. You can just make out there's servo in there. Try looking at the other end here without much luck. There you go. You just make out the magnet on the other side, right up against that G10 piece of fiberglass, which is only about 40 thousandths of an inch thick. So there's still plenty of attractive force between the servo-mounted magnet and the magnet attached to the whatever you call them, brain fart. All right, there we have it. Bell cranks, goddamn. Getting old is tough. Ugh.